Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting. I've got a lovely colourful project today using the Beauty Abounds stamp set, which thankfully is continuing into the new catalogue. But I am going to be using a punch which will be retiring. Now this is I find a really useful punch, this one, for sentiments, and I've used it in this project here. So I've put together two colours. And if I picked up those two colours, I think, no, I won't put those together. No, but actually, I think they look amazing together. So colourful and so bright. And I'm just going to show you how I put that card together. Before I do so, I just want to show you something I've got my hands on. It is the new Stamping Up catalogue, and I can't show you because it is more than my life's worth to show you. I have got some catalogues on the way. If you would like to have a chance of having one of these in your hands, please, if you go along and subscribe to my blog, there is a link to it in the description bar below. It's www.taffycrafting.blogspot.co.uk. And if you go onto that and you subscribe to my blog, that means that you'll then be on my email list. So that means that I'll be putting a post out as soon as my catalogues arrive, and that will give you the opportunity to apply to have one sent to you. The other thing that I'm going to be doing right at the very end of May is a catalogue launch. So a catalogue launch party. So you need to watch out for the date of that. It's not in the diary yet, but it is in that last week of May. It's in half term. I'm a teacher, so I need some free time to be able to sort it out. So look out for that as well. But you need to go over to my blog and go and subscribe to it to make sure that you're on the email list. And also while you're at it, then you could also subscribe to my channel on YouTube. I don't ask for much, do I? Anyway, so let me show you how I've put this card together. Very, very simple. So the first thing you're going to need, this is a 5x7 card base. Let me show you what I've got here. So I've just used one of the stamps, which I'll show you in a second, this is Melon Mambo, this beautiful deep pink colour. And I've mixed that with Bermuda Bay. I've stamped the sentiment in Bermuda Bay, but then also in the middle, I've got the rest of the sentiment there, and then I've just carried on those bubbles in there as well. I don't know if you ever remember, I remember when I was at school, when I was really, really young, we used to put washing up liquid into water, blow bubbles into it, or we used to have paint and put washing up liquid in it, blow bubbles into it, and then put our paper down. That is what that reminds me of. I'm going to show you how I put it together. So the first thing I need is a 5x7 card base, which I have there. This is a pre-done one just because I'm very, very low on Whisper White cardstock and I'm waiting for that to arrive. I've got an order from Stamping Up. I was very lucky because I'm a demonstrator, to be able to do a pre-order from that. So that is on its way, and I cannot wait to show you some of the new stuff that's coming. So let me just burnish that crease. So if you were making this with Whisper White cardstock, it would need to be it wouldn't, it need to be 10 inches by 7 inches. And then you would score down the long side of the 10-inch side and score down that at 5 inches. Okay, so 10 inches by 7, score down the long side at 5 inches. Let's just put these to one side for a second. So I've done this colourway with the Melon Mambo as the background colour. For this card, I've picked Bermuda Bay, and that's going to sit on there like that. So this measures 4 and 7/8 by 6 and 7/8, and that's going to sit on there, and it's just got, you might be able to see, just a very small white border all the way around. We've got another piece of Whisper White cardstock. This measures 4 and 3/8 by 6 and 3/8, and that is going to sit there once I've stamped on it, and it's got just a bigger border all the way around. So I'm just going to put those to one side for the moment. And just as I picked up my card, I don't know how I did it, and knocked my finger into it and creased it slightly. So just to show you the stamp set, so this is Beauty Abounds. It's got this lovely butterfly, a couple of butterflies on there, which you can use with the butterfly duet punch. And then we've got some little splodges here. I've seen lots of cards with this kind of splodged on in different colours. But then we've got these bubbles and these bubbles here as well. So they're the ones that I'm going to be using. I've got them loaded up onto a ink block already. So there are my two, these are D blocks. Are they D blocks? Yes, so they're both D blocks. So I'm going to start off first with the bigger bubbles in Bermuda Bay. Let's get my ink open. This is in one of the older style ink stamps, but they've updated them now. I'm still using the older ones. So just little taps. If you've never stamped before, this is a perfect project for you. And sometimes I need to go over the cards just so that it looks more continuous, that you've not just stamped within the confines of that card, if that makes sense. And I'm just going to just stamp all the way around, not thinking too much about it, but just making sure that I don't leave any huge gaps. But then again, not having them right next to each other. I love this stamp. I love it. It took me a long time to get hold of this stamp set rather. It's something that that I acquired not that long ago, and I've used it quite a lot since. One, because I like the butterflies in there, and it goes with the coordinating punches. I like punches. That's probably one of the main reasons why I use Stampin' Up products, because I do like their punches. They're really robust. I'll show you in a second when I put the rest of this card together. So just stamp off the edge. That's absolutely fine. Just use your grid paper to pick up those. So there's our Bermuda Bay stamped. So let's put that to one side. Get that closed. And then I've got Melon Mambo with the smaller bubbles, and they're just going to fill the gaps. Now they can overlap the Bermuda Bay, that's absolutely fine. And it's just filling in those gaps. And I like to turn the stamp every now and again, just so it doesn't look too uniform. And sometimes it doesn't, no matter how hard I try for it not to look uniform, I still end up with lines, or diagonal lines, horizontal lines. Just filling those in. Got a big gap in there. And the thing about doing cards like this is you can get a bit of production line going. So if you were making, for instance, 10 cards, get your production line going, stamp all of your Bermuda Bay first on all of your cards, then stamp all of your Melon Mambo next. Then you mount them all, and you could actually get quite a few cards made quite quickly. The other thing about a card like this is that it's ideal for beginners. And the other thing, no two cards are the same. When you're doing random stamping like that, no two cards are the same. They are all unique. So there's that. I'm going to now mount that onto my Bermuda Bay cardstock. Like that. And I'm just going to do that with liquid glue. I prefer liquid glue just because we can make sure that we get it positioned into the right place. That's where you've got the advantage with liquid glue. So on it goes like that, and then just very quickly before the glue sets, just make sure you've got it in the right place. And then just smooth that down, and then we're going to put that onto our card base like that. And again with liquid glue. You can use tear and tape, you can use, we've still got snail going at the moment, but that's going to retire soon, and they're coming up with something different. And at the moment I can't open the catalogue to show you. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, if we go back to my original card, I used Bermuda Bay cardstock here to form the background of the sentiment and also for stamping of the sentiment as well. So for this one, I'm going to use Melon Mambo for that. So I've got just a scrap piece of Melon Mambo, and I'm going to use the Starburst Punch. Now this is soon to retire. This is only available for another less than a month. These products retire. Now, I'm not sure the exact date. I should know. I think it's something like, it's the 2nd of June. It's the 2nd of June. After that, this will no longer be available, and that's really sad because it's a lovely punch. And let me show you how easy it is to punch. Like that. These are so robust, so sturdy. You'll never break them. So that's going to sit on there like that. Now, before I stick that down, I want some Whisper White cardstock. And I'm going to use the same sentiment on this card as I did for the other. So the Beauty Abounds. So it is that one. So this is Our Friendship Isn't One Big Thing. I think cards like this with sentiments like this are really important at the moment to tell people that we're thinking of them. We miss seeing our friends at the moment. And it's nice to remind people why you're friends with them. And it usually isn't one thing. It's lots of things. Beautiful font on that. Lovely stamp set. Now for this one, I've got the 2-inch circle punch. So this one is continuing, and I use the 2-inch circle punch in conjunction with the 2¼ inch circle punch. They go really well together. But sometimes as well, if I've got a slightly smaller sentiment, then I will use the 2-inch punch with the Starburst. I won't be able to do that for much longer. So just slip that in there. So you stamp the card first, and then put your punch in, line it up, get it right, and then just grip it, punch it. Couldn't get any easier than that. There's my Melon Mambo circle. So I'm just going to put my favourite piece of kit is the mini dimensionals, and I'm just going to put, those of you that have watched me before know that I'm really frugal with these things, and that circle's getting 2. And when I watch other crafters and they've put 6 mini dimensionals on there, I'm having heart failure. So let's put that on there like that. Get my card, and we're going to put that there. I love that mix of colours. I sorted out all of my inks yesterday to just to tidy them up on the shelf, because our 2018-20 in colours will be retiring in a month's time. So I've just sorted out my shelves. I put all my colours together, and I thought, right, I'm going to put together 2 colours that I would never use. And I looked at these 2. It's like, come on, we can do this. And I'm so glad I did. And that's just going to sit right in the middle there. You could put it there. You could put it there. I'll tell you what, let's put it there. Let's put it there. So there we go, there's the front of my card. So now we can see all those lovely bubbles. I want to stamp in the inside with the other part of that sentiment. So let's just get that off my block. And the other part of that sentiment is, it's a million little things, which, is usually what we love about our friends. It's not just one thing, it's lots of things. So I'm also going to stamp that in Melon Mambo as well. Why is it when I start crafting and filming, the sun goes in? Okay, so I'm just going to line that up. Because I can't get my head right over it to make sure it is lined up, I'm going to, fingers crossed, that's okay. Well, it could be straighter, but what would I do if that was a card? Would I start again? No, I wouldn't. I would just go with it and make sure I'd put lots of writing on there. So the one last thing that I'm going to do is just put those bubbles up the side of my card. Oh, I want the big one first. So this was in Bermuda Bay. And without thinking about it too much, just going to stamp those up the card. Like that. Quickly switch stamps and colours. And then stamp up here, nice and random. Try not to think too much about it. There we are, that will do. Can't look at it too long, I'll overthink it. So there you have a really simple card, but looks so pretty. That could be a birthday card. So you could use another stamp set and do birthday cards with those. You can make a whole stack of thank you cards, maybe use smaller 3x3 or 4x4 card bases and make a whole stack of thank you cards. Anything you like. You could use this in male colours, in female colours, in gender neutral colours, anything you like. So I hope you like that idea, that for the beginner stamper, this could be something that you could have a go at. Remember, if you want the opportunity to get hold of a catalogue, please go over and find my blog, link in the description bar, and then just go along and subscribe. Not following, it's subscribing on the email list, and that will give you the opportunity to get a catalogue from me. That will only be UK only, I'm afraid. I better just put that quick proviso in there, UK only, I'm afraid. Okay, thank you for joining me. I'll be back again soon with another project. Bye bye.